Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use the TradeTracker dynamic mode. If you haven't seen the videos for the static mode, the statistics calculation, or how to test multiple systems on the same chart, then please look in the bio of this video and you will find the links to those as well. Alright, let's get started. To find out if you're in the dynamic mode or not, all you have to do is look in the first drop-down menu from the toolbar that appeared and see if dynamic is selected. If you have static selected, then just select dynamic and then you're set to go. The first setting of the dynamic mode refers to the number of positions that you want to choose and trade. This is done for scale outs. So if you want to scale out of a position by setting different stops or different targets and you want to keep the same entry, just make this from a 1 to 2 and even 3. The next three options for these are the contract sizes of each position. Next, you have the option to move your stop loss to break even. Depending on the number of positions selected, you have an option of don't move stops at all, move if X number of ticks in profit, move after target 1 is hit, or move after target 2 is hit. If you adjust the number of positions, you can see that the number of options actually adjust with this as well. As opposed to the static mode, the dynamic mode has a few more options, like have all your stops at the same location. What the dynamic mode does is you actually have to click on your chart for your entry, your stop locations, and your target locations. If you're using multiple stops or multiple positions, then you get to choose only one location for your stops if you have this set to true. If you have it set to false, then you can make different stop locations for each of the positions. Now let's have a look at an example of that on the chart. To begin placing any trade on the chart, all you have to do is click the tool button next to the reset button. Now, since we have all stops at the same location set to false, you can see the text in the top left corner is prompting us to select our entry. We select it. Then our stop 1 location, stop 2 location, and stop 3 location. Now let's see an example of have all stops at the same location set to true. Now that we have it set to true, we click the tool button again, we click the entry on the chart, and as you can see in the top left corner, it just says select stop location. Once we select this, it actually makes us select the first target location. So that's it for selecting the stops. Now, before we're done with the settings, we have one more setting left to have a look at, and then we can go into a live example. The last setting is stop loss to target ratio. When we turn this on, you can see that 3 new settings appeared: C1, C2, and C3, each with their own on and off switch. Before we go into what each of these do, let's see the way this is calculated. So, if we turn contract 1 on, we can see that we have a 1.1 multiple. What that means is what the indicator is going to do is it's going to grab the distance in between the entry and the stop, multiply it by 1.1, that's the price of the target. So that means if the target is hit, we have a 1.1 multiple from the stop to the target. So we have less risk than possible potential gain. Now let's turn C2 and C3 on. C2, as you can see, has a 1 to 1.5 ratio, and C3 has a 1 to 2 ratio. You can adjust these ratios. We just put these in as a standard default version. You can adjust these to whatever you want. Now let's take a trade on a chart and see how it works with all 3 of these turned on and have all stops at same location turned on as well, just for ease of use. Okay, so to put on a trade, as we know from before, we have to click the tool button. Now, click the entry on the chart. It's going to ask for the stop location. We click the stop location. And then, as you can see, the trade populated on the chart with entries, targets, and stops all placed, and the trade duration and logged all at once. We don't have to have all of them turned on at once. We can have just contract 1 or just contract 3, or contract 1 and contract 2, but not contract 3. You can have any sort of combination that you want for these. What we normally have is have contract 1 and contract 2 as a multiple, and then contract 3 as a runner, and we'll take that when we trail behind some sort of indicator or just anything that depends on what we're testing. So to show you on this chart, we have set it up the way we trade it. So we've got contract 1, contract 2 as multiples, and contract 3, we have to click for the exit. So again, we click the tool button, we get prompted to put the entry, we place the entry. We get prompted to put the stop location, we place the stop location. And then, as you can see, target 1 and target 2 were already filled and placed on the chart. You can see that by the green dots on the chart. And then all we have to do is place target 3 location. Once we place that, you can see that the trade is logged and everything's drawn. Now that we're done with all the settings, let's go to the chart and place an entire trade on the way we do it. And we'll show you how the pause button works and how the custom exit button works as well. Previously, when we click the tool button, I'm sure you've noticed that a pause button pops up. So while we're placing our entry or our stops, the pause button actually pops up. And that goes all the way until we finish the trade. What this pause button does is if we click the entry, for example, and we don't know where we want to place our stops and we want to do some calculations, for example, we click the pause button. Then we can move the chart and adjust it and see where we want to place our stop locations. Then we click the pause button again, and then we can continue logging the trade. Now we've placed our stops. Now that we have placed our stop, we can see that a new button actually popped up as well, which is the custom exit. So we've got our entry, we've got our stop, we've got the custom exit button, and target 1 and target 2 were already filled because that's the way we backtest. So we want to do the custom exit. What that means is, for example, as you saw before, when we clicked the target, the actual trade duration was until the target was hit from below because it was a long trade. What the custom exit does is actually lets you choose the bar and the price of exit. We did this because we wanted to mimic the exact way that we're going to trail our stops. So we know the trade duration and the number of bars and all that stuff. So let's click the pause button and see where we need to exit. So we want to get out of the trade at this bar and this price. To do that, we have to click the pause button again to unpause it. Then we click the custom exit and we select the price and the bar. As you can see, the trade went all the way through the last line and came back and hit our exit. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you like its content, then please hit the like and subscribe buttons on YouTube, share it to your social media, follow us on social media, and I'll see you in the next video. Have an awesome rest of your day until then.